Westhay in the Somerset Levels, a place exploited by man that's fast becoming a wildlife paradise. These disused peat workings are now full of water and life. I'm John Clarke, a poet and professor. I'm travelling the southwest celebrating these special places in verse and finding out what effort goes into keeping them that way. The reserve is run by Somerset Wildlife Trust. They've let the water fill the old peat workings, and in places they're even putting that precious peat back in. This tower hive is a great place to start. In bird terms, it's like the nearby M5 out there, and being high up, you get a great view over the reeds that throng this place. A great white egret flies in, common on the continent. They've been arriving in numbers to the UK since 2010, maybe down to climate change and more wet places being created. This pair, one of 9 that have been breeding here, a welcome sight. Preening feathers is vital to keep them in good condition for all those feeding flights. This bird is a burst of brilliant white in the greenery of the reeds. A marsh harrier is quartering, a hunting technique where it rapidly turns back on itself as it scans the reeds for prey. There's one breeding pair here, over 500 nationally. 50 years ago, only 1 pair in the whole country. Underneath these feathered brown tufts are potential prey. These gadwall chicks scuttle for safety in the reeds. This pair seem more interested in slugging it out. They don't have the place to themselves. A hen harrier muscles into these rich hunting grounds, and the marsh harrier scarpers. These hut hides on the lakes echo the Neolithic past of the Levels, when Stone Age hunters fished the marshes here for food. Well, we can't hunt here anymore, and any fishing is strictly for the birds. And by the looks of it, they're tucking in. A great crested grebe is fishing. Diving right down, it comes up with what could be a roach. It soon gets another, and this time swims off with it. No doubt food for chicks. Gadwall chicks are greedily scavenging for seeds on the lake. The grebe comes back with a chick in tow, but it doesn't seem to be feeding itself yet. The parent is constantly diving for fish. Eventually, it gets one and feeds it to Junior. And, as if by magic, the chick picks up the hint and starts fishing for itself. Job done. But this expert needs no lessons. A kingfisher is stock still, intent on the water. Bobbing its head up and down is a way it has of judging the depth of a fish. It strikes and comes up with one. A flick of the head to kill it, and then it gets it round the right way to swallow. Down long rooms, corridors, and roundabouts of water, risen through by the pliancy of feather and reed, 1,000,000 healing incisions illuminate edges that might flow on forever until they meet the road. Here is a home for rain in all its many fabrics. clothing the voids of blade and line, the cutting up of many hushes, of booms, warbles, clicks, where now the grebe chick's neck is the ripple it looses. My end point at Westhay doesn't look like much, but it's probably the most important place here. This is bog, the largest lowland acid mire in the south, and it's about to get much bigger. They're putting peat back in, plugging gaps and fissures to keep it wet and stop it eroding. It's all been enabled by natural England. Peat is a hugely important carbon store, with peatlands globally storing twice as much as forests, but in a vastly smaller land area. Sadly, for centuries, we failed to realise how vital peat is, using it for compost, even burning it. In 700 AD, the level of the peat would have been several metres over my head. This post marks that sad height. That's a lot of lost peat. The peat helps hold water, great for the abundant dragonflies. It's a good job the Trust are putting peat back, because it takes centuries for this stuff, sphagnum, to decay and create it. This ant is picking its way through, but it needs to watch out. There are predators about. This is round-leaved sundew. The ant manages to evade its tentacles. Others, like this beetle, weren't so lucky. At the tentacle tips is a sticky dew that attracts the prey, glues it in, and has an enzyme to digest it. The leaves of this sundew are closing as it eats the insect. Grim stuff. In the eye-opening ground below a marsh harrier, opening sky over all, hairy growths cluster into meat mallets fringed with dew-tipped eyelashes. No-eyed gorgeous lots, they certainly can be mistaken. Folding eyes into their chests, seeing all through light touch, become their pulseless hearts, death stickily beginning. Westhay seems a place where our past looms large, from the Stone Age to our carbon-intensive era. But it looks forward to the future, tackling climate change in a hands-on way, and with some great wildlife thrown in.